Hi everybody, welcome to the Finance This Property That podcast. My name is Dion Fernandes and I am a mortgage planner and finance professional. My goal is to empower financial legacies for generations, and I look to do this by using my over 13 years experience in finance and having special guest speakers like financial planners, accountants, buyer's agents, family lawyers who are experts in their field to provide knowledge and free education. And without further ado, let's get into our episode today. Hey everybody, welcome to this special episode of Finance This Property That. We're at the 2024 Connective National Conference. Today I've got a really special guest. He is another fellow mortgage broker. We used to work together at the bank, and he's also an author and has his own podcast, so it's a real privilege for me to get someone else that also has their podcast to share his insights around how he helps his customers get smoother approvals. Thank you, Aaron Christie-David.
Thanks, Tim. Appreciate it, mate.
No, my pleasure. Thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it.
All good.
Great. So, want to get really quickly into it. It's going to be quick, short, sharp, to the point.
Yeah.
We talked about technology a lot this week, or this couple of days, and what I'd like to get your take on really quickly is when it comes to getting quick approvals for your clients, right?
Yeah.
What steps do you take to get your clients ready before applying for a mortgage to streamline that process to avoid those common delays of extending settlement or extending finance?
Hey, we're not perfect, right? And I don't think there's an ideal, like, it's going to go through smoothly every time. But I think one of the big things is picking the right lender. And I mean, we can bang on about it in terms of don't shop on interest rate. That sounds great to us because, preaching to the converted. But to a client, they don't understand that. Yeah. So from our perspective, it's going, they're cheap for a reason. The turnaround times are terrible. We're going to this lender. This is why. Smooth experience. And that's generally what I say is, like, you want a really good smooth experience. Particularly if there's something in there, for a client, it's a bonus or it's
commission,
self-employed, whatever it is. There's a little tripwire there for a lender. So lender selection is probably number one. Number two is be organised. That's super, super important for us. Is you've got all this time before you've found the property, so use that time to your advantage. Get organised, get pre-approved, get yourself in the right headspace, get the right conveyancer on board. If you can do as much of the pre-work before you find the one, it makes your client experience, it makes that journey so much more enjoyable.
And less stressful, eh?
That's the whole point. I think people are coming into it expecting it to be stressful. We don't want the stress. A borrower doesn't, a client doesn't want the stress. So we're all on the same page here. Why are we trying to make this a stressful experience? And why can't we make it as smooth as possible?
Yeah.
Mate, it's a win-win for us.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Totally agree. And I guess looking at my next question I was going to ask, I guess in a competitive environment, when everyone's fighting for the same product, setting the right conditions can actually make the biggest difference, right?
Yes.
I think you've given us a couple of examples of how they get their finances in order, but what advice do you have for clients on structuring their offer to stand out to increase the chances for winning the property they actually want to purchase on?
Oh, absolutely, mate. And I tell this to clients all the time, you're not buying a loan, you're buying a home. Yeah, so stop trying to buy a mortgage and start focusing on buying a property. So let your broker handle the loan side. Your job is to find the right property at the right price that you love. So put all your energy efforts into what's selling recently. How do you make it the best offer? How do you make a compelling offer that's going to take this property off the market? And that's what we say to our clients is when you call the agent, you tell them very clearly what is it going to take to take this property off the market today. How do we do a deal? That's music to an agent's ears. You're talking their terms, so maybe it's going, well, we're pre-approved, so we can go unconditional on this offer. We're willing to close it out now. We've got a 10% deposit we can pay today. I've sold property. When I get that call from an agent going, mate, there's someone here, they've got a 10% deposit, they're ready to go, they're pre-approved. I'm like, that's tick, tick, tick as a seller.
Yeah.
As a buyer, you don't understand that what's important to me when I'm selling a property. That's what's important. A strong, confident offer that doesn't make the agent look silly, that's going to go through. Think about if you're selling the property, how would you like to be presented that offer?
Correct. And I guess if we've done our job correctly in step one, we've already said, hey, run your numbers, this is what we can do, here's our structure, this is the lender we're going to go with, because of A, B, and C. Let me know when you made the offer, or if you're ready to make an offer, let's go, let's talk about negotiate terms, right? So I feel that our job's twofold.
Yes.
Is let's get it right the first time. Let's go slow to go fast.
Yep.
Because it doesn't matter down here.
Correct.
It matters when you're actually trying to get the deal done and then get it approved, right?
Correct.
Cool.
Yep.
Well, I guess, leading on to that, we've just had a great, keynote presentation from Tim Lawless from CoreLogic.
Yes.
Right. The Australian property market, it's the $1 million question. What is it doing? It's the hot topic. From your perspective, where do you see the property market going in the next 12 to 18 months? And how should buyers and even sellers to something? Because you'll probably have property investors that want to sell.
Absolutely.
And, convert to go to the next one.
Yeah.
What do you think they should be preparing themselves for to get ready for the change potentially?
I think there's massive opportunities coming, and I say that because we're in property. I genuinely believe that once we talk about even rates just starting to come down a little bit, it's going to put a whole lot of confidence back into the market. That's probably one. Once you get confidence coming in, there's more competition, for example, so increased borrowing capacities. You probably see a rate drop means we're coming out of inflation issues and pressures as well. I'd probably say that the job markets will probably stabilise a little bit. So you overlay all this and you go, it's good news for the Australian property market, but if you're a buyer trying to get in, it's going to mean increased levels of competition.
Yeah.
So I'm saying right now we're probably in the buying window. We are probably in the smack bang in this buying window up until rates start to come down, possibly a little bit. So if you're a buyer, I'd say use this time to your advantage. If you're waiting for property prices to fall, keep waiting because it's not going to happen.
Yep.
That's my view of the world.
Well, not especially after those stats we just saw.
Mate, great. And I think I've had people for years waiting for the right time to be buying. And all that's happened is their borrowing capacities come down and prices have gone up and their savings have got eroded. Yeah. So tell me how waiting's going for you. So waiting's not a strategy that we endorse, that I encourage. I'm like, you buy what you can, when you can, where you can. You buy quality over quantity. And as an investor, you're now looking at the right opportunities. And you might have a little bit of negative cash flow still that rates are high, but once you start to see rates come down a little bit, you said, what's the right structure? Yeah, take the time to get things right. Are you buying through a trust? Are you buying through a self-managed super fund? Are you buying through a company? What's the vehicle that you're buying through? The next part is what are you buying for? Are you buying for capital growth? Are you buying for cash flow? Are you looking to piggyback to buy the next investment property as well and scale out your portfolio? So I think for us, you mentioned there, slow down to speed up.
Yeah.
It makes sense to us, but to people that are just I just want to keep buying property, it's whoa, easy, tiger.
Yeah.
We've got to get a strategy mapped out that we know when we're doing the lending, we know exactly lender A, then we're going to do lender B, then we're going to lender C, then D, and it gives us the ability to work together in a partnership role with a client to go, we're not just going to get you this loan now, it's going to be, we're future-proofed your strategy as well.
Correct. And, our visions are quite aligned, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Around, yours is around intergenerational wealth.
Yep.
Mine's around empowering financial legacies for generations.
Yep.
Well, not around, it is empowering financial legacies for generations. We do what we do because we actually care.
Correct.
Right? And when we talk about the big picture, we do, if we're slowing you down, it's for a reason. We want to see you win.
Absolutely.
And I believe everyone can win.
Oh, mate, I think you'll only rise to the level of the caliber of your team. Yeah. I'll say this a lot. People that are entrusting professionals that haven't either done it for themselves or done it for clients, for example, they will fall short. You only fall to rise that level of the depth and breadth in your team. So you keep looking for the right partners. This is not self-serving or self-seeking advice. All we're trying to say is find the right partners, get the right strategy, then pull the trigger with confidence.
Yeah, 100%. Well, mate, appreciate your time.
Not at all, mate.
Really do. Guys, Aaron's also got a book out, right? It's on Amazon. If you actually follow him on LinkedIn, it's all on there. Tell us about your book really quickly.
The book called The Happy Homeland Handbook. What I find is people have this, begrudging attitude towards getting a mortgage, thinking it's the end of life. I'm like, no, it's the best debt you'll ever get.
Yep.
You stop renting, you be in your own home, you improve it, you have security, you have stability, and you can try and pay it off as quickly as possible. get the equity, go and buy an investment property, for example. To me, I'm like, that's what a happy home loan is.
Yep.
And to me, it's first home buyers. I don't know, they're so hungry for information, but they can't digest it all that quickly. So a book gives them time to be self-paced and self-learning. Yep. And then once they've read it, the baseline of that knowledge then starts to go up as well.
Yep, that's the epitome of giving back. And the one thing I've learned from that book is there is really no bad debt. Yes, people say your owner-occupied home loan is bad debt, but it's not. It actually puts a roof over your head. Therefore, it's good debt. Yeah. Right? It serves a purpose. Guys, thank you for listening today. Appreciate you're all busy as well. But again, thanks to Aaron for popping on board, and we'll see you on the next episode. As always, the information on the show is very general in nature. If you'd like to speak more about your current situation, you can contact me using the details below. Thank you for listening.